Hi there, welcome to Gingerbread DIY. I'm Sarah. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm bringing you the last video from my channel for 2022. I'm making 5 gingerbread DIYs, so if you want to see what I made, stay tuned. For this first DIY, I am using one of the Dollar Tree square plaques that you can get from the Crafter Square section. I gave it a coat of white chalk paint and then added some washi tape for some stripes. Painted that red with crimson, and then added a little bit of a glitter layer using the Folk Art Extreme Glitter in Red. Next, I'm taking a few of these Dollar Tree stars. I think I painted 6 of them with the Waverly Chalk paint in hazelnut, and then I'm going to use my paint pen. You can see there, I like these Posca paint pens, especially this size tip for my fine detail work when I'm doing some painting. So I'm going to add some frosting to the tops of these stars. I had seen some cookies on Pinterest. Somebody had made these adorable star cookies, and I was very inspired to make some of my own. So, but I don't do cookie decorating. I do wood crafting. So I decided to turn their adorable cookies into some wood crafts. So I'm going to go in, instead of using my Posca paint pen, because those, as you know, maybe, or maybe you don't know, they're a little on the spendy side, and you know, regular paint is a little bit cheaper. So I'm just going to go in and fill in the top part of my star here with regular paint using a fine tipped paintbrush. Now, if you want to, you can definitely just use your Posca paint pen for this, but you know, I'm all about saving a little bit of money here and there, and this is how I'm going to, you know, finish up that star. So now I'm going to add a little face, and I know you can't really see what I'm doing here too well, but I'm just adding a very basic little kind of kawaii face, little smiley mouth and some eyes, little tiny eyebrows, and I'll show you a close-up of that right now. Now I'm going to embellish my little star and make him even more cute. I picked up this little package of faux sprinkles from Michael's. It came in a jar, it was from Recollections, and it had the little peppermint pieces and then red and white sprinkles. So I'm going to add the peppermints to the cheek areas and then the sprinkles to the frosting area. Now, if you were not able to pick up these faux sprinkles from Michael's, you can definitely check out Amazon or Etsy. I love to support small businesses on Etsy, and or you could paint them on. You definitely don't need to have the faux sprinkles. Just use a small paintbrush, and then you could either paint the cheeks red or pink if you didn't want to do the peppermints, and then just add some little red dots or whatever you want to the top there. Now I'm going to add a frame to my wood plaque that I painted earlier, and I'm just using these flat craft sticks from Walmart. I will link those down below if you're interested in seeing exactly which ones they are, but they are a really nice little stick to have in your craft area. I made a cute little ladder out of them a few weeks ago, and it turned out really cute. So I'm glad that I picked those up, and you'll be seeing more of those in the future. And I just gave it a couple coats of the Waverly Chalk paint in hazelnut, and you'll see that part of that wasn't quite painted. I went back and touched that up after everything was dry. So I just used wood glue and hot glue to attach that frame. Now I am using a little peppermint stick that I made out of polymer clay. If you don't have the ability to make like little peppermint sticks out of polymer clay, you could definitely cut down one of those little craft sticks, and then you could either paint it in a red and white stripe or paint it brown, whatever you'd like to do, and add that for your little trunk. So we're going to add our stars. I'm going to start with 3 there at the bottom, and then I'm going to pyramid it up so that this looks like a little Christmas cookie star tree. And I just really love how this turned out. I think it was really cute. And like I said, I was inspired by those cookies. They were so adorable. And I think that these turned out just too cute. So some exciting news to announce. We've hit 16,000 subscribers here at Gingerbread DIY. I am so thankful for each and every one of you. You guys are the best. You leave me the sweetest, nicest comments. You give me the best encouragement. And it's because of you that we are here and that I am still making videos for you guys. So thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you so very, very much. For this DIY, we're going to start off with another one of those square plaques from the Dollar Tree Crafter Square section. And I just used my ruler to figure out 4 even squares. So you're going to have to measure yours out individually because these squares are not all even or exactly the same size. And as you can see there, I just had to trim off a tiny bit on one side to make it even. Now I'm just going to go down my score line, or I'm going to score down my pencil lines with my box knife. And it just takes a few swipes with that box knife to kind of score it enough that I can break it apart. Now I painted each one of these squares with the hazelnut color first and then decided that I wanted to go in with white. So I did the white over the top. And now I'm going in with a very fine sandpaper. I have 1000 grit sandpaper here. You can use whatever grit paper you have on hand. It'll all kind of distress the same, but I'm just distressing these edges to make them look a little more worn and farmhouse. Now that everything is distressed and we are ready to move on to the next step, I'm going to use this alphabet sticker pack from the Dollar Tree. These are for poster boards or whatever, but I had already used a lot of the letters, and so I decided what I would do is just cut out the what was left over after I had taken the stickers out. And I'm just going to place those onto my squares, and then I'm going to use that as a stencil. So what I'll do is I will place that on there, press everything down nice and flat, and then I'll go in with my makeup sponge and paint and fill those in with the crimson color from Waverly. Now I definitely would not leave these stickers on for too long. I wouldn't even leave them on for an hour. So don't put your stickers on and then go do something else for a bit. I would put the stickers on, do the stenciling, and then take them off right away, because I think that if they set for too long, they're going to be very difficult to take off and they might take your paint off. It was a little bit on the sticky side. So if you have another way to add stencils using actual stencils or, you know, stencil paper, whatever, that might be a better option for this project. But this is what I had on hand, and I like to show you guys different ways that you can use different products or use things in a different way to create something cool. Now I'd originally painted on a little tiny round circle, wood circle, and I was going to use that for my face, and then I thought, you know what, it's too small. So then I went into my sticker pack and pulled out the O, leaving the middle part out, and then I just put that onto my square and then painted that with the Waverly in hazelnut. So now I'm going to use a Peachy Keen stamp. I have showed you guys these stamps before. I love them. I'm so excited that they are back in business. They had shut down for a while, and I had not been able to show these because I wasn't able to, you know, link them for you guys. But now they are back up and running, selling their stamps, and I can share these fun stamps with you. So if you are not comfortable painting on a face to your little gingerbread man, this is a great alternative. Just ink your stamp up with, like I'm using the Ranger archival stamp. That is a permanent ink that won't smear when I paint over the top of it. And you've got a super cute face. So I'm gonna fill in the mouth a little bit, leaving a little tiny space for a tongue. And then I'm gonna round out that nose. So I'm just kind of changing the look up a little tiny bit, adding a little bit of shine for the eyes with my white Posca paint pen. And then I'm going to go in with a very small paintbrush and the red color from Waverly, the crimson color, to fill in the nose and the tongue. And look how adorable this little guy is turning out so far. I just love these little stamps. And they're a little more expensive, but I've had my stamps for years, like probably 10 years now, and they still work just as well as they did the first time I used them. They've held up really well over time. So it's definitely a fun investment if you plan to do your little faces on different things. So for the base of our project, I painted 2 of these small boxes from the Dollar Tree. They're like the little mini crates. I'm like trying to think of the right word. And I just painted them with the crimson color. And I'm going to hot glue them together side to side there so that the bottoms of the crate is where I'm gluing my letters to. And of course, if you haven't seen or guessed before this, we're spelling out the word home. So I'm just going to add the H and the O to the top box and the M and the E to the bottom box. And then of course, I think I missed that I added those little peppermint pieces from Michael's on the cheeks of our little gingerbread man there. And I just had made a bow out of some ribbon that I had on hand out of my stash. And I just gave him a little bow tie there. Now using my white Posca paint pen, again, I'm going to add a little bit more detail here. You guys know I love to add these little details to my projects. So I am going to add some dashes and dots all the way around our box here and then around each of the squares. So I'll just let you guys see what I'm doing here. And here is a look at how this project turned out. I love this one. If you've never been over to my Facebook group, I invite you to come join us. It's free, and I host this page with my friend Lisa from Our Gray House. We're sharing inspiration, pictures, and it's just a lot of fun over there. So I will leave that link down below in my description box. We'd love to see you. For this DIY, I'm going to use one of these little planter boxes from the Dollar Tree. I picked this one up last Valentine's Day. And I'm going to use my heat tool to try to get this word off the front. Some of these pop off really easily and some of them are glued down really well. This one happened to be glued down really well. So I'm just going to use my scraper, and I just had to kind of break that all off. It left a little bit of residue, and so then I had to sand it and make it nice and smooth. But once I was done, I painted it all white, added some washi tape stripes, and painted those stripes red. Now I'm going to go in and paint this wood circle that I got from Walmart. It comes in a 6-pack. And I'm just going to give that a coat of the hazelnut color from Waverly. This is probably my favorite gingerbread color. I've used that on most of my projects last probably year or so with my gingerbread projects. So, but you can just use whatever your favorite gingerbread color is. And paint your circle up. And then I had these little mittens in my stash. I have no idea where they came from. So if you don't have mittens like this in your stash, you can always use these little wood stickers from the Dollar Tree. Just add a little bit of spackle to that side that's got the decoration on it so that you can have a nice flat surface on both sides. Or you can go to 24 Hour Crafts and order some little mittens from them as well. Now I'm going to mark off my circle because this little gingerbread person is going to be peeking out of our box, and I wanted to have a reference. I didn't need to paint to the bottom part of the face, just the part that was going to poke out, which would be like the eyes and the nose. And then I'm going to go in and add those cute little details of like the frosting with my paint pen and some dashes and dots around our mitten. And then finally, I'm going to add a sweet little heart in the middle of each of those mittens to finish off our little gingerbread person. I picked up this cute little wood cup from 24 Hour Crafts. I'm going to start off with my pencil, and I'm going to make a curved line there at the top, separating the whipped cream from the cup. Then I'm going to go in with white paint, paint in our whipped cream, and then adding a very light watered down gray. I'm going to just make some shadows on our whipped cream, and that's just going to kind of give a little more detail and show where the whipped cream would be kind of swirled up a little bit. I painted the base of the cup in the ballet slipper from Waverly, and now I'm going in with my Posca paint pen and just adding some cute little polka dots. I love polka dots, as you probably know if you've been on my channel for a while, but you could add stripes, stars, hearts, or nothing at all, depending on what you like for your decor.
People, please, but this is my favorite holiday. It's a chance to start over new, 'cause I missed you, so I'm letting go of everything but you. These are the good times with you.
This little peppermint piece came from 24 Hour Crafts along with this little gumdrop. I painted them both in the crimson color and then added some of the Folk Art Extreme Glitter in red over the top. And I backed my little peppermint piece with some white paper to give that red and white striped look. Now we're going to assemble everything. I added my little gingerbread face into this inside of the box according to the line that I'd drawn previously. And now I'm just going to hot glue my cup and the mittens to the front. And I just adore how this little project is turning out at this point. I love it. So now I'm going to add some floral foam in there. I don't show you guys that, but I just cut down a piece of floral foam and add that in there. And I have these little wood circles that I picked up from Michael's. They're in the creatology section, which is like their kids section, their kids crafting section. And it comes with 3 different sizes of circles. I painted those up to look like little peppermints and then added them onto skewers and placed them into my floral foam. And then I just went into my stash and picked out some floral pieces that fit for Christmas into this little box, and that completes this project. I love how this turned out. I think it is so cute. Tell me what you think down below. When I saw these houses, I knew I had to pick them up and turn them into gingerbread houses. I love them. They are ornaments, and they came from Michael's, and there were 6 different styles, which I was really excited about. And then I painted everything up with the brown color. I'm also going to use for the gingerbread men from the Dollar Tree, and then I am going to stamp on their faces, paint them in, and add some little hearts to the front there for buttons, you can see. Now I went onto Pinterest and I got some inspiration from other gingerbread houses onto how I kind of wanted to decorate these up, and I'm just going to use my Posca paint pen to mark these out. If you wanted to try puff paint, you probably could do that. You may not be able to get as fine of a line and as much decoration as I am able to get with the paint pen, but you could definitely give that a try, see how it works. I'm not sure how much detail you'd be able to get on there with the puff paint, but you could definitely try it and see. But I'm just gonna go in, add some swirls, dots, whatever. Like I said, I went onto Pinterest and just looked at other gingerbread houses, like the real gingerbread houses, and just kind of was inspired by that. So I'll let you have a look at each of the houses after I decorated them. I'm just going to show you me decorating this one here, and now we're going to show you each of the little houses individually here. Because I want to add this onto garland, I am going to need to add some twine to the back. So I knotted off a piece of twine for each of my pieces. And now I'm going to hot glue them to the backs of each of the pieces. And I'm going to make sure that the twine is running front to back there, or so that the loop opening is side to side, so that I can string that on, and then my houses and my gingerbread men will be facing forward. So I hope that makes sense. If not, you can kind of see what I did there. Visual is always best for me. I picked up this garland from Walmart. I like to get these little garlands like this. They're pretty inexpensive and you can do so many projects with these beads. These will be good for Christmas, they'll be good for Valentine's Day, for 4th of July. So when you see them, definitely pick them up if you can or want to, for garlands like this, or for tier tray garland too. You can do all kinds of stuff with these beads. I'm going to add one of these macrame rings to the ends of my garland just because of where I am going to be placing this garland. I wanted it to be able to go on and off easily. It's like a curtain rod, so that's why I am doing that. You could just tie off the ends if you're just going to hang it on like nails on your wall, or if you're going to use like command strips or something. You could just, or like the command hooks, you could just loop an end there. I'm using the string that it came with, which is kind of a nylon string, so you'll definitely need to burn the end of it and then kind of tamp it down with something just to kind of keep it from fraying and falling apart. But here's a look at our cute little garland. I love how this turned out. I do plan to make some red and white pom-pom garland to go with this as well. For our final project, I picked up this little gingerbread house from Michael's and painted it accordingly. Isn't that so cute? And then this little peppermint was an ornament. I cut off the wood ornament hanger at the top and then painted that to look like a peppermint. And then I have this gingerbread man that I picked up from 24 Hour Crafts. And I painted the little face in my classic gingerbread style, added all the little details of frosting onto our little gingerbread man, and then I'm going to add some white hearts for buttons down the front of this little guy. And this is how he turns out. So cute. I picked up these 3 wood canvases from Walmart in their crafting section. They come in a 3-pack, and I'm going to paint the inside of each of them in red, white, and brown, and then I'm going to paint the outside edge white. And now we're going to add some stripes using some washi tape, and I just add that washi tape from corner to corner there to start out with, and then I'm going to place a spacer, add another piece of washi tape, move that spacer up, and continue on, and that will give us a place where we can add some red paint and make that classic red and white candy cane stripe that I love to add with my gingerbread decor. Now that everything's painted, we are going to assemble. I'm going to use some tumbling tower blocks here to make sure that everything is touching. So I'm going to add 2 tumbling tower blocks to the back of my gingerbread house. And then I'm going to add some glue to those blocks and place the gingerbread house into the canvas there. And if you have a bigger size canvas where your stuff will sit down inside of it, you don't have to add the tumbling tower blocks, but these were just a little bit bigger than the inside of the canvas, so that is why I'm adding those tumbling tower blocks. And I'll just add 1 to the gingerbread man. And then I'll add 1 to the peppermint as well. Now you can hang each of these individually or leave them for shelf sitters. I'm going to make one large piece by adding some ribbon to the back of each of these canvases. I'm going to start off with some red and white gingham ribbon that I had in my stash from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to glue it in the middle of that top canvas. And then I'm going to add my second piece, making sure that everything's facing the right way. I don't know about you, but I know I have done that many times where I've just glued without looking and then realize once I get it turned around that it's upside down or not facing the way I want it to. So I definitely have learned to check that. And I am really just kind of eyeballing this, you guys. So if you want, you can get out your ruler, make sure everything is perfectly centered and that the space in between each of your canvases is the right size or exactly the same size. I am more of an eyeballer, so I don't really worry about that too much. I'm gonna just V-notch the end of that ribbon to make it a little more decorative. So for my hanger, I'm going to take a piece of twine and I'm gonna add some more of those beads from the garland that we used in the last project. Again, like I said, this is a great way to get beads into your stash for a really cheap price. And I'm just gonna add red, white, and neutral to my string in that pattern. Make sure though that you are using an even amount of beads if you want your project to hang like in the middle. I have odd number of beads there, so when I hang it, it is a little bit wonky. So make sure that your beads are even numbered so that you've got a space that's perfectly in the middle. And then just glue your string to the back. I'm using a little bit of masking tape for extra security. I learned that from Holly at Humble Pie. It's a technique that she uses. And I have had much success with it, I should say. Not many successes, but much success with it. So here is a look at our project. I think this one is really cute. I love that it is a wall hanger and that it can add so much decoration to my kitchen. Well guys, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, leave a comment down below and let me know which project was your favorite. I hope you have a very Merry Christmas and that you and your family stay safe this holiday season, and I will see you in the new year. Have a happy, healthy, and blessed day, and we'll see you next time. Bye!